the magnificent. A story about the magician player. The player with different accolades. I'm a maestro. I'm a wizard. I'm polo to polo. I'm wonder boy. I'm player extraordinaire. I'm scientist footballer. Different accolades. And you are in the country. I became a coach from showing to the whole Ghana public that this man, after football, he will become a coach because I became a coach player.
I mean, Sunday, Mafia clock. Where Danike? Mafia clock a galley, Nipaposto, or Yafuni, Teneke Boboli, Yafu local few, Bobon was it.
No Nwaka, didn't agree some of you by Miniba.
Oh, Messi, Bay, I can hear your yake into machine bammy, or local fee. Oh, local tobacco, my name into machine.
My often a bow and tower lager or you.
Oh, look, fine. And I was on get shift of Lingalangako. A year won't know me, will expect you fine. Into 7 years. No go buy here fine. She may go make a poison. Only tree but for few. She know me. He can go Europe and get poison go.
Coaching is putting your thinking into action. That is all what coaching is about. Now, I study them, I show them, I revisited the match they played against us. Then I saw that we gave them enough space to operate because they are full of techniques. The boys, the 14, 20, 10, 8, 12. Very, very with the ball when you give them space. So we try something called tracking and getting free. Track them, get free and play. So we deny them the space for them to maneuver.
In terms of power play, it's zilch. If you watch our game against Mali, the young man was running away from taking the ball. He didn't want it. Give me away. He was practically running away. He was running away when we were being marooned and we were under attack from the Malians, and he had the opportunity of staking a claim in the team. Anytime an attempt was made to him with the ball, with the pass,
he's running away.
He's running away, leaving the ball,
hiding
behind opponents. This whole Telemundo, it's something that sometimes
for the uninitiated, Telemundo is a channel that shows telenovelas.
Yes.
So this is like a soap opera.
It's like a soap opera. This clearly is a soap opera. It's winding down. So let's call Extremadura man from Extremadura man. Mama, when the boy is coming to the player, he's running away. You know what's the game? And shockingly, there's a certain miraculous acrobatism.
No, Mrs. said, Master son players are cooked about Mamma Tim Master. Players a banner, Master son. Tim will annoy a shit. Tim would have been placed in the mammy. Sakim CH. Where? Sakim CH. Aha. Timo Verna. What's it I? Timo Verna. Aha. Cavers. Why? Cavers. Cavers, I saw. Is a sister circulator, woman, you more. Sister circulator, only more. I must say a Brazil anyway. Yes, I know. That's anybody. Almost one said Silver, so I Silver. Aha, Tiago Silver. Is a
me the Felix you want against stand. My son be say, me Adam, I'm not gonna need my job, go marry. No, you see, I'm not gonna need my job, go marry.
So you refuse to punish them.
They're not the punishment, it serves you right. No, not the punishment. See, you choose love over job. Exactly what you do. Because what Chirata go do? Chirata go marry.
Yeah.
So in the footballer, since 29, we don't play football. You don't marry. We start league after we fall. You say they go marry.
That be the time when money catch.
No. So you choose love over career. And so if today you get your lover, the coach say they give you more time to go chop love. So it's not a big deal. Me, I guess that I thought that this matter.
Does Don Botte still want to play football? You are 36 years old.
Forget about the age.
We cannot forget about the age, Don. You are 36.
Yeah, 36. You doubt 36. Inami, Forget about the age. What you want me to come and do for you?
You still think you can perform at the highest level?
Why?
In Ghana?
Yeah. Not in Ghana, sir.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
You train?
Serious.
By yourself?
Always.
Why don't you want to join a club and train?
You see, that's what I'm saying. Them themselves, they don't believe themselves. The coaches don't believe themselves. They are not real coaches. They don't. You have to believe yourself that no, this guy can do it for me. If you believe me, I can do it. But so far as you just relax yourself, no. If I come safe, I won't get that spirit because you don't believe me.
So you think that if a Premier League team were to give you an opportunity to play, you would make an impact?
Ghana, yeah.
Yes.
I can play past all the current players. The current players in Ghana Premier League.
That's a serious statement coming from somebody who hasn't played in almost a year.
You know something? I know myself. That's why I said, if you don't know me, you don't know me.
You see, as for a game, like when you get a chance, you play, every blessed player will decide to score, and then to decide to. So when you both decide together, then you make the chance. I decide differently, and he also decide differently, and our decision was together. That's why I raised my head and went to go post and put the ball.
You have 3 or 4 phones. What messages have you been receiving?
I haven't even read them because they keep on coming. They keep on coming. I think that I have to turn one of the phone off.
You haven't read any of them? Messages?
No, not at all. Look, they still calling. They still calling. Phones are calling.
And it's that time. It's that time. Yeah. Sports Panorama. Benjamin and Kitty are here. We are live. It's our final show for the year. Yeah. Final show. Showdown. I just had to say that. Probably brought to us by Bell Beverages, specifically Puka, holding us down the whole year, not just providing energy for the show, providing impetus for other things that are essential. If you want details, you can ask my potions master here. Ginseng. You out there at home, driving home, stuck in traffic, because I know a lot of you are stuck in traffic. Those of you who have parked your cars to wait out the traffic, and text into the show via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. This week, more Black Stars drama. So the GFA were holding the list to their chest. They had locked it in their basement, in their closet, in their attic. CAF said, no, don't do that. CAF dropped the 55-man provisional list. But why 55 though? I guess CAF gives you the leniency to pick up to 55 and then you can whack it down to 27. So initially it was 23, but I hear teams can choose up to 27 maximum for the competition. It will be interesting to see who makes the final squad. Do not forget that as things stand now, the FA and the ministry have still not told Ghanaians where the team will be camping. Interesting days ahead. For those of you who love European drama, well, the ECJ this week ruled that UEFA and FIFA are abusing their powers. They say FIFA and UEFA are misusing their monopoly, or they are operating a monopoly that is not legal. We'll be getting into the issues of the Super League. Will it return? Discussions have started already. When you get further into the issues, oh boy, Dreams FC. Dreams FC. Dreams FC are dreaming big in Africa. They are dancing all over the place. Looking good so far in the CAF Confederations Cup. We'll touch on them as well. It was contrasting fortunes for the CAF Champions League reps. Mediama Sporting Club. Yanga completely took them apart. Chris Houghton, he went and granted an interview to our partners Talk Sports, and it created a whole lot of confusion. He has been speaking about Kudus Mohammed, his favorite position, where he will possibly deploy him. And then, of course, we have a big game this weekend. It's Liverpool Football Club holding down Arsenal. So a lot to chew on. The rabbi is here. It's been a long year. Today I'll be finding out from everybody their top sporting moments of the year. Rabbi, as you can see, your two signature chilled pukas. Plural for puka is pukas. Yeah. Yes, please take a sip so you are in the spirit.
Oh, no more.
Oh, Charlie.
Obawo.
Oh, Charlie.
Puka like I should no better apa. Holidays ne no one jani mo be won two no nisa.
Medase nana, medase. Commit us, please. Commit us into the hands of the Lord.
You know what's about? Waka one double shin. One double shi feda shida no waka habo. Waka shida jiono. Shida kwete ple. Jiono. Waka ogbele ya che aw Yehowa o manche yeli aba ye shipon le no ke we ma mi fe waka boji Yehowa ko yue mokobe ko fe ogbe ami mokobe waka shida o okwa wa ino kabashi menegbene waka wo benoko noko kemo jashida jomo wala ke wasafi bene wodumujala mi feda wo he ba faithful baby ni wo febe ni wo e faithful o ba jowo febe no jowo yo wo ka o ba jowo febe no jowo o ba wo sports panorama no feboni owe no ya ka wo like boji manche no fi ono ni chobo no
manche
yokuni kashina no wo ke amesmo amekegbe baba and in 55 Chris Houghton no tumo e ba anye tun no Ebanye chunu tumolo Yehowa 55 fachon Yehowa bele mama ingbe na me nani chi dreams ise be family dreams yo ka ha Yehowa ehia ke amenche wo here wo ka jomo ketokraku dreams FC bona fe na me ya hie fi be na me tie hie chi ameka ya knockout stage se me na me agbele wo hingbe na me fe ni bi ni kanunya ke jomo baba Ghana football eneme can be pi obi o ya Yesu gba me wakashidambo dakeda. Amen.
Amen. It's lit. The prayer from the rabbi sets the tone. Let's get into that 55-man squad. Before I even get into the names, Coach, let me start off with you and what you made of the fact that CAF had finally released the list that your good friends were holding to their chest.
You see, we've told them these are very archaic way of behaving. They think that when they do things this way, they tend to get the results they want. But I don't think it's ever been so. I don't think it's ever been so. Look, if you are so honest with yourself and you know that what you are doing is the right thing, you will not hide anything from anybody. Look, where there is darkness, when you put just a little candle and you light it up, it brights as if the whole place is lightened. But if you are so dishonest, that is where you are afraid of the people's backlash. As to why they were keeping the list.
You mean he who has nothing to hide?
No more.
Comes with clean hands.
Comes with clean hands. At all times, not sometimes, at all times.
Okay.
So you ask yourself, why or what exactly were they seeking to achieve?
They don't want to put pressure on the boys.
Are they serious?
That's the excuse we've been getting.
Look,
we don't want to put pressure on the boys.
It's a player who plays for the Black Stars of Ghana. Doesn't understand what it takes to handle pressure. He has no business being in the team.
Absolutely no.
At all.
I agree.
He has no business being in the team.
True. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It means he's not couch to be part of the team. So get him out. So they were hiding the list. And true to CAF, once the list, CAF's responsibility is to publish it. So you see, you are not the, do they say arbiter? Those who, you are not the final arbiter to the list. You have been directed to submit the list. You submitted it, but as to whether it goes public or not, you don't have total control over that. Look, in fact, when I saw the 55 man, I said, wow. Was there the need for 55? Absolutely not. Nobody can justify to me why we put out those names. 55. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 55. What? I feel 55. Look, I couldn't believe it. So I took my time and I was going. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And I started seeing that indeed, I will not say excuse my language. We are jokers.
How so? How so?
If Chris Hutton, Masawu Didi Dramani, George Boateng, they have been with this team since the World Cup in Qatar, are they telling me and you, and for that matter Ghanaians, that they still don't have a fair, clean idea of the players they are taking to Cote d'Ivoire? It will be shocking to me, and it was shocking to me. A clear indication why maybe they are not the men for the job. They shouldn't be there. Because even me.
You know what the 27 should be.
Look, I can sit on top of my head and mention 20 players who I know will be at the AFCON. 20. They will definitely be at the AFCON. Unless there's an injury situation. Okay. But if there's no injury, nobody can tell me those 20 players will not be at the AFCON. I can look at them and say, okay, as for the first 18, they should have a clear idea. Yeah. I know if Richard Ford is fit, he will go. If Ati is fit, he will go. If Jojo Wolocott is fit, he will go. I can talk on top of my head. If Jiku is fit, he will go. If Amate, Krodistic, Amate is fit, he will go. If Pate is fit, he will go. If Skudu is fit, he will go. If Joseph Spencer is fit, he will go. If Osman Bukari is fit, he will go. If so, so what are you talking about? What we are hoping we will see is the players who will be included in the team to make a massive difference to whatever we stand to offer at the AFCON. That is what somebody like me, I was looking up to see. I was looking, is there a Bernard Mensah in there? Is there a Jeffrey Schlupp in there? Is there at least an Alfred Duncan in there? Is there a Jesse in there? Is Tekpete in there?
Tekpete made this.
Tekpete made that.
What has happened to the Spanish defender? Abdul Mumin, is he in there?
Abdulaziz Yakubu still can't appear on the black list despite how much scoring he's done this year.
I will party Kokeje, Birmingham City, John 9, I will West Bromwich Albion, which come no, I will tell you. Imagine. I don't know. You are going to Derby Menere. Ebo Nege Padine. What? Jesse Infelation. I was looking out for players who we can say, look, this is our best footing. We are going there with our best footing. But even in the 55-man list, look, it looks so weak a list. It looks so diluted.
For the purpose of our listeners, let me go through the 55-man list. Just so we all have some perspective. So,
I can't believe
55.
55. And out of the 55, we have 9 local players in the mix. So let me go through the local players.
Waste of time.
Yeah. So the local players, Midiama have 5 players in there. They have Hamidu Abdul Fatau, Felix Che is in there, Abdullah Nuruddin, Jonathan Soa, and Derek Fojo are in there. Now other home-based players on the provisional list are Emmanuel Entry and Benjamin Asari of Great Olympics. Governor Kutubu was talking about Emmanuel Entry of Accra Great Olympics last week, about if we wanted a player who could give the one-time pass, that kind of thing. He is in there. John Entry. Wow. John Entry of Dreams FC in there. Veteran striker, managed to make it.
Striker.
Yeah. I thought he was past his prime.
See, experience.
Well,
he's played
continentally, and he's playing in the
and he's proven himself. So he's got a good experience.
I would say a little negative in terms of John Entry is that he hasn't really scored a lot
of goals
in the Ghana Premier
League. And we need goals. This team is struggling for goals. I will go. What league will go?
That is
yeah. So and Godfrey Etuahin is there. So Godfrey has been brilliant for Dreams.
But if that's the case, how can players like Manaf
didn't make it?
No more.
Or
no transition. If you're marketing, any templates go need cashing. If you ban them, if I'm a trash, I'm a trouble. Yeah.
Let me finish up the list. So Razak Simpson of Nations FC made it. Asante Kotokos Richmond Lamptey is in there. So Accra Hearts of Oak did not have a rep in there. Very Let's get into the full list itself, and let me start off from.
So you've gone through the 11.
I've gone to 9. There are 9 players in the Ghana Premier League. So let's get into the full list. So we have Bernard Tekpete is in there. He plays for Ludo Gretz. Ashimeru Majid is in there. Anderlecht, Nicolas Opoku from Almia, Joseph Atamalawe from Kayserispor, Osman Bukari from Red Star. We have Patrick Kuzu from Banik Ostrava, Kamaldeen Suleimana of Southampton, Jordan Ayew of Crystal Palace, Lawrence Atizigi St. Gallen, Ransford Yabua Koenigsdorfer of HSV, Joseph Painto of Genk. Koenigsdorfer is back in the mix, man.
Friendly match.
Thomas Partey is here. Ali Duseidu of Clermont Foot is here. Hafiz Konkoni of
Young
young Africans. Yeah, he's in
Ex-Pechem
there.
United.
Yep, he's in there. We have Edmond Ado, Red Star Belgrade.
40 minutes.
Ado Skillful.
Ado Skillful.
He's back in the mix. Then this Frimpong Odoi is in there. Jerome Opoku.
Hey!
Jerome Opoku is
Come on.
Bashak Shahir. He's in there. You have Mohamed Kudus of West Ham. Tariq Lamptey is in there. Roberto De Zerbi is not happy at all. We'll get to that.
Why should he be?
We'll get to that particular one in a bit. So Tariq Lamptey, your own good friend Benjamin Tete is in the list. FC Metz. We have Daniel Amate, Fatah Isahaku, Idrisu Baba, Richard Ofori, Enes Nyama of Olympic Lyonnais, Salih Samed of Racing Club de Lens. You have Inaki Williams of Athletic Club, Alexander Jiku of Fenerbahce. That's the first part. So more names. When you get to the other side, you have Antoine Semenyo in there, Stephen Ambrosius, Elisha Owusu, Nuhu Adams Kasim of Hoffenheim, Abdul Babaraman of PAOK, Joseph Wolacott, Salisu.
Kasim, no, is he still at Hoffenheim?
Yeah. He went on loan to Basel last season and he came back to Hoffenheim is his parents' club.
He's not played one match.
He hasn't.
But
recently did. But recently we saw the Hoffenheim coach explaining, even though he struggled to really get to the heart of the matter, not because he didn't know, but he was trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
We all got the import of what he was saying. He was simply saying that Kasim Nuhu was below standard.
Simple.
Forsen Amankwa is in there, plays for Red Bull Salzburg. He's a left-footed right winger, very skillful, blistering pace. I like him so far. Razak Simpson of Nations FC, I mentioned him already. Andrew Tre Yadom of Reading. I think is the man coach was talking about earlier.
Andy Yadom.
No, okay, no. Andy Tre Yadom is Andy Yadom.
Yes, Andy Yadom.
Then there's Benjamin Asare. Benjamin Asare of Accra Great Olympics. Emmanuel Inchi of Great Olympics. Richmond Lamte. Godfred Kinsley of Dreams FC. John Duku Entry. Felix Che. Derek Fojo, I mentioned him. Daniel Efriye Barnier. Wow, how did he make it? Michael Baidu is in the list as well. Hamidou Abdul Fattah of Mediama in the list as well. Kingsley Schindler. You have
Schindler.
Joseph Wolacott, Salisu, and Gideon Mensah. So, yes, this is what the list is looking like so far. Very interesting list. Interesting names as well.
Look,
this is the list.
It's clear that the technical team looked very confused. Look, for me, I wish I was the one in charge of this. I would have just gone straight. I would have just gone straight to. You see, I would have named 27 players, put the rest on standby. Yeah. I would have submitted 27 players straight away to come because this team, our team lacks proper competition. Oh. Maybe I'm the only person who sees that. See, gone are the days where we could look at proper competition in every position. So even those days, we know those who will go. Now the team looks so weak. And for me, if Chris Hilton, Masao Didi Dramani, George Boateng, truly, if they are on payroll, they are being paid, their salary, we don't know. Up to now, nobody has told the people of this country how much money these gentlemen are being paid for the work they do at the end of every month. And they come out with this list of players. It's waste of paper and waste of ink. Absolutely. I'm telling you honestly. Because you cannot be mentioning the sort of players I'm hearing in this. 55.
It's about 21 days to
can you imagine?
Kick off from the tournament.
Can you imagine it? But now you should have a fair idea. Look, 27 straight. 27 straight. So how are they going to go about pruning that? When it's about camping, then they'll tell the rest not to camp or what? How are they going to do it?
Or they are taking all the 55.
I was asking myself, or they are taking all the 55. Look.
They'll tell you they are going to look at them properly.
Do you think any club will agree to have someone going a 55 man?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Susu Graham.
Susu Graham is in the team.
Can you imagine? So I was asking myself, are they going to secretly tell the other players.
And we know the confusion that always creates.
It's always, you see, Sabato here. I thought we would have learned our lesson. When Laie Kingston felt that he was wrongfully dropped, he nearly slapped people at the hotel that day when he was dropped from the 2010 World Cup. I thought as a country we would have learned our lessons and stop these shenanigans. We should stop these things. Look, let's see how they go to camp. Are they taking all the 55 to camp, or they will Nicodemously pick a phone? Bane Kaba Obemi.
Oh, it will happen.
That is Bane Obemi Wakogbe Tikeke. Sheila Kaba Obemi Wakogbe Tikeke. How can you be behaving like that?
Yeah, I want to believe that. I want to believe that these things do something for the resume of the players. I mean, being called up by a national
Benjamin Tete.
Benjamin Tete. I've been looking at his numbers. He has played 309 minutes the whole of this season.
Yeah, he came back from a really long time.
So that's like 4 games.
So 309 minutes. So Mets have played 17 league matches.
Yeah.
And he has played 309. Now let me give you the game.
That's like 4 minutes.
That's like four games.
Okay, now let me tell you the games he played in.
4 games.
Let me tell you the games he played in from August, right? Let's take it from August. From August, he played 7 minutes against Marseille. Then he was injured and then he returned in September. Played 5 minutes against Strasbourg. Played 59 minutes against Monaco. Played 80 minutes against Le Havre. Spent the next 2 games on the bench. Then he played 3 straight games. 90 minutes against Elversberg, 25 minutes against Lorient, and 17 minutes against Lille. And he hasn't played, and 10 minutes against Brest.
So when was Brest? When did he play?
Brest was the 10th of December.
He scored in here?
He hasn't scored in
he hasn't been given a fair run.
Fair run. Ete preseason ebo omode keto kroko player ni ebo omode agalakaya e woko one go po etako ba po pole movie the pole doesn't move you or not told me.
No. I'll come back to you later. Let me get your thoughts on this 55-man list. Which name jumped out at you, and which local player do you think could possibly be on the bus to the AFCON?
I think to answer the second one first, the players in the league who I thought I would hear, I thought I'd hear Manaf's name, but Manaf didn't get, he didn't get a mention. So I was quite surprised. In terms of the others, I'm looking through that 11, and I'm struggling to see who.
I was looking at the media man players. I'm thinking, in Seboko, I'm a fan.
When. I don't know. Maybe the next 2 games Mediama will play in the Champions League, and the next few games they'll play in the league. I don't know. But if you ask me, I wonder, because I don't think Felix Che dislodges anybody from the Black Star setup. He doesn't, and the others won't really do much, unless of course we just want to give them a spot so they get to experience.
I have to be honest about this when we are calling local players. In general, it's only now that our teams are now returning to the group stage of the CAF Champions League and fair. CAF Conference. So the quality is not really there if we are being honest. So
sustain quality.
Yeah, we can't say that these players. I mean, it would be good to call 1 or 2 that are really performing for the experience. Because to be honest, after the first 18-19, you don't really use much of the players at the tournament. If we are being honest, that is also there. But to say that someone is guaranteed a place by being the best player in our local league is very difficult to justify, and it's very unfortunate. We are happy that Dreams and Mediama are doing well. They've gone for the first time in a while. We hope to continue seeing our teams, but this local player agenda, I'm not a big fan of it.
So Ben, look, for me, what jumped at me was not a player's name, but the sheer number on that list.
Actually,
55. The tournament starts very early in January.
Yeah,
why
on the 13th of January.
Why do you put 55 names out there? Because I thought by this point, like Chris said, Chris Hughton has been around this team
2 years,
2021 or 2022, if you like. He should at least know his 18.
First 18 or first 20.
Then there are certain players who have been consistent in the call-up since the World Cup until date. So is Chris Hughton saying that he's now going to revise the notes? By this time, you should know your first 18. Then you add the options. Because like I keep saying, tournament football is not always decided by your star players or your regulars.
If you have a player who says he won't play, leave him. If he won't play, you should leave him. Who builds a team like that?
You understand? You need players off the bench who can make a difference. The players to give your team a different dimension.
This Abdul Mumin ball, I can't think far, Nathan. I can't think far.
So I just feel that Chris Hughton needs to have an idea of who his starters are. Then he needs to find the options who can change things for him. Because look, the tournament football, anything can happen. Injuries can appear. Suspensions can happen. A player will dip horribly in a game, and you need to make a change.
We know Jiku now is injury prone. Amate now is highly chronotistic. All our defenders, Nicolas Opoku, he can't even run. I'm a fair plamo yamehi. I'm a plan more. All of them have injuries hiding somewhere. These are the people we are taking. Abdul Mumin, fresh young boy, 23 years old, Spanish La Liga, all the time he's playing. He says you call Jerome something, you overlooked him. So he's not ready. You cannot go and talk to the boy. What sort of egos are these? Many ego, we are paying hard cash. Hard cash. They should bring the budget. The minister should bring the budget. Ben. We should see how much that as for Cote d'Ivoire just here we can throw one your dog.
But meanwhile, when you look at Abdul Mumin, right? If you, at the start of the season, if you go back to see August, he was on the bench against Almeria, played 3 minutes against Granada, was on the bench for the next 2, was injured, came back. So from let's say September, he started playing very regularly. I can say that from the 29th of October, he got good runs. So 29th, he played 90 minutes. Against Real Madrid, he had a rating of a 7.3. And
which site is this from?
This is my flash score.
Oh, flash score.
Oh, no. Extra 90 minutes, Danny.
You understand?
Recently, 90 minutes, 90 minutes.
So, as to...
You watch him and Real Madrid, go let's draw that day. No more. Jude Bellingham, stop your man.
Those are the things people like him look at and say, if I can't get into this black...
then we are joking.
We really have to do better. We are going into an AFCON where countries are presenting top quality players.
Onanago man list there.
You understand? So I feel that Chris Hughton needs to do better. This 55-man list, I don't see the head and tail.
When I saw the Egyptian list,
I think everybody submitted the 55-man list.
No, everybody.
Some teams went straight to the point.
Yeah, and Anago gave 40. Egypt gave, I think, 32 or so. Not everybody gave 45.
We are saying that, look, even if he wouldn't name his final, 55 is
excessive.
Excessive. 30. Then we can work from there.
Like Coach said, if anything, you name your squad and then these people on standby. Right. You know that maybe if you are the 4th striker, maybe when one striker comes, you come. But even 27 for standby is a lot.
It's a lot. And I'm very sure that
it should be like one player for each position.
CAF says you can either pick 23 or 27. And I can bet you my last dime that we are taking 27 people.
I don't see the problem.
Yeah, the 15, 16, you maximum 17 about tournament.
Let's talk about Tariq Lamptey and some controversies that have emerged. Let me start to you, Susu. So Deserbi says that he's not sure what Hughton has been watching, but if Tariq can't, he says if Tariq can't play for Brighton, why is he being named in a provisional squad? Just thoughts on that.
I don't understand this. The same Thomas Partey we've not been seeing kicking the ball. He's on the list. Are we in Arteta complaining?
No, but he won't. Look, I agree with the man 100%. I am a coach, and I know the importance of fitness to a player. The man just cannot stay fit.
Yeah.
That is fundamental. If the player cannot stay fit, what is he doing in the list? They are hoping
that he'll be ready.
No, I'm coming.
He's the first choice.
No,
I'm hoping that
I'm coming.
He is the first choice, actually.
I'm coming. He can be the number 1 choice. He is not fit. True. Why are you taking him?
That's a fair point.
He's not fit. Why are you taking him? Look, I believe that if a player is not fit, he goes nowhere closer to the national team or to any team. And when I listen to...
Is there not enough time between now...
21 days.
It's 21 days.
21 days.
I have to be also fair.
And nobody knows when Tariq is even due.
I was about to say that. I don't know how fit Tariq Lam is.
And his issues has got to do with muscles. So your muscles, how can he be playing?
Let me just check that up real quick.
2-3 days in the tournament.
If we are at a stage where maybe Tariq Lamptey is jogging or something right now, and we say we are taking him, it's different. But if it's like they only expect him to start jogging, where is it?
Yesterday,
in
Brighton played,
it will be similar to, remember we had this one. Remember the Wakaso issue.
Yes, when I checked Tariq Lamptey, they said muscle injury. Such injuries, you don't know when the player will be back. And it is not the type of injury you want to rush take to a tournament,
and you don't want
where
to rush
he'll be
them.
playing after every 2 to 3 days. He's playing football. So if you understand your football and your medics are on top of their job, you don't include it in the list at all. You don't. So when I saw the comment of Deserbi, typical of Ghanaians, they were bashing the man on social. I said, wow. If you understand the dynamics of coaching and you understand the fitness
I was just telling
of a player.
I was just telling a few people this. Like, look, again, I'm not the coach. Two players. Thomas Partey doesn't go to the AFCON.
Let them charge you,
If I had my own way, I'll tell Partey, I'll tell his camp that, look, you know what? Do not go to the AFCON.
We've not won this
Tariq Lamptey.
tournament in 42 years. The worst thing we can do to ourselves is to take players who are not fit to the tournament. Basically, we are going to extend it for another 2 years, making 44. You can't do that. Look, we're here when we went, you see, and Ghana, what is surprising is that we've got history to learn from. You remember in 2010, Michael Essien was not fit. We started the tournament
in Angola.
He came very late due to fitness. When he played in that second half against Cote d'Ivoire, something got triggered. He lasted for 45 minutes. In the next training section, we're told Michael Essien was done. When we took him out of the team, it was Ajiman Bedu and Anthony Annan and Kojo Asama. We went all the way to the final because they were fit.
Point to omit.
They were fit.
Let me read a few messages coming.
I just want to say a small thing.
Yeah, quick one.
I think there's two things about it. Someone like Partey, because he's so key, if we can see at least some small...
Onwanka said, we don't see his keenness of late. That's how I
feel about Partey. I feel like the kind of history he's had with injuries lately,
when he comes to the Black Star, he doesn't exert himself 100%.
And it is understandable.
Yes.
Based on the kind of history.
Oh yeah, but you see, my thing is right now, when we are talking about fitness, there's still time.
Yeah.
It depends on what we see. But if the player is now starting their jogging, they are now starting their ball work just before the tournament, then I'm on coach's side that is useless. If maybe they are starting that and they could play a match a week or two before the tournament, then the risk is worth taking.
I think the most important element in the Partey conversation has to do with the player himself. I think the player, in all of this, we don't know whatever it is he's thinking. Has he decided he wants to play the AFCON? Is he thinking about his Arsenal career? Because, Ben, the way things are going, his
Arsenal career is on the brink.
They seem to be moving on. So I think it's a very critical thing.
Exactly what I'm saying. He's at a very critical
point in his career. He needs to make
He needs to prove to the people of Arsenal he still got something to offer.
He has something to offer. Because if not, they'll quickly move on and find some. Declan Rice is in the team. They're doing well. They're doing fine. So I think Partey needs to make a decision. Look, I've seen the videos. He's Ben, I don't think at that stage of fitness, as it stands, he can't go to the AFCON.
AFCON is a very physical
tournament.
You've seen some of the players who in the Premier League, they are looking like Hercules. When they come to AFCON, they are bouncing off defenders.
So I think the Partey bit, we've not heard much from the player, but I get the sense that he's actually thinking long and hard as to whether or not he should come.
We have 21 days to the tournament. Truth be told, in the next 7 days, the Black Stars should be assembling.
They should be.
We should be bringing our players. So somebody like Partey, I'm not sure he's going to play in Arsenal's next game. Arsenal is not taking him to Anfield tomorrow. He's nowhere going to get closer to that team. So which means that Partey is likely not to play any game of football
until January.
Until he reports to the Black Stars in 14 days' time.
Perhaps the first time he plays a game is when Ghana's playing its opening.
That is it. Agile.
Very interesting.
And you know the Arsenal fans are not happy because they feel like they are not getting value
The best
for
out of
money.
yep.
And then the moment he's fit, you run to AFCON. They are not.
Yeah. Let me read a few messages. Yao Okreku Yuenchi says, Isn't it clear that the people in charge of Ghana football, particularly the Black Stars, are not sincere people, have no shame, not tired of embarrassment? It will remain like this until something radical happens. Starboy from La Paz says, why this 55-man squad? We are not going to play a rugby game in Ivory Coast, so they should do the needful by calling the right players. What kind of FA is this? Picasso from Amman from says, I think the Black Stars are camping in South Africa. Hey, these GFA people, my greetings to coach. I don't know. I don't know about it.
South Africa. I think because we are playing that friendly against Botswana in South Africa that they are
speculating.
But and again, why are we going all the way to South Africa for our preseason friendly? Isn't Ghana right next to Ivory Coast? Anyway,
bring the friendly here.
Everywhere but Ghana, you know.
Play them here
On which pitch?
Watch it.
In Babara. Oh, yeah. You can play at Babara.
I have a the new.
They should even Taka there and play there because it's right. Exactly. It's near Ivory Coast.
They say they are commissioning the new stadium too on the.
They'll go and train.
They train over there.
They'll go and train there.
Wache Kakra Puka Kakra says that I was getting my wache for the evening. Then I heard the prayer of the rabbi. As for the FAD, they will keep doing things their way and we'll keep getting the same results. Look at the 55. We won't go past the group stage. Wonderful show. Lambert from Dodo says, good evening, Ben and team. Our Black Stars, they are in their lowest moments. I don't trust nor follow them these days. Our current players are not stars. Anyway, I wish Dreams FC all the best. They are really doing well. I pray Man United bring me something better next year. The blood pressure is too much. Sido from Toronto in Canada says, can we go past the second round? And is the team camping in Ghana or Dubai as usual? We are talking about group stage. You are talking about second round. This guy. And as from last says, I'm currently reading Tifo Football's book, How to Watch Football. And I can say that out of the 52 rules stated, Ghana only uses 1 out of the 52 when we play matches. Like how? This one's from Big Show, listening inside Amasama. Like a Big Show from back in the WWE.
Maybe the Big Show from It's the Big Show.
Yes, I hear the Black Stars will be camping in SA ahead of the AFCON in next month. Didn't the FA tell Ghanaians that the weather in where's CD?
Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire is the same here. Why would they want to waste the taxpayers' money to go train all the way in SA when they could have
in
gone
South
somewhere
Africa?
around
They cannot.
Yes, the weather is different.
Mr. Minister, if this is true, they can't. They can't come in South Africa. For what reason?
I'm sure they have booked their. If they really are going,
His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. Some of us look. If they allow them to camp in South Africa, some of us will campaign against this government. It's waste of money. Complete waste of money.
I agree.
Why should you go and camp in South Africa when we are playing in Cote d'Ivoire? For what reason?
These are the moves that embolden
for what reason?
the FA to do what they do.
And you see, I always say that. You see that.
What?
Like and I think
Are they serious?
I think the ministry should also sometimes put their foot down on these things because look,
what?
Even if you're going to go and camp, forget about that.
Go and camp in Cote d'Ivoire. They should go and camp in Cote d'Ivoire. They should just go and camp in Cote d'Ivoire. They should just go and camp in Cote d'Ivoire once and for all.
Looks like
until the tournament starts.
Nitojo from Newtown says GFA is wasting our money. Why camp outside Ghana? Nightmare from Dansoma says Edmond Addo has not played a single minute for his club side. He only joined the team twice, and now he day bench. Xylix doing in London says Coach Christopher Houghton is not serious. Anyway, Liverpool will win tomorrow. Kweku from Koforidua says it's great to see 11 local players included. Not 11, no, they are 9 in the provisional squad, but it's surprising the league's top scorer Isaac Minta 9 goals in 11 of Adriana Stars is not there. Manaf Umar of Inswatraman, who has arguably been the best midfielder in the league this season and also has the most goal involvement, 6 goals and 3 assists were excluded. I hope we can see 2 or 3 of the GPL players making the squad. Numo Hornsby from Kaswa says, Merry Christmas, guys. Good to have Susu back in the mix. Okay,
Merry
nice
Christmas.
one there.
Christmas is a time for family, so I'm here with my family.
Thank you. Let's get into some Super League talk. Yeah, Charlie. They have Seferin and Infantino sweating all over again. They thought this issue was behind them. So let me just quickly run you through the sequence of events. We'll make some sense of it, and then we'll move the discussion on. So the ruling dropped on Wednesday, I believe. Yes, that UEFA and FIFA were in breach of EU competitions law. Basically, that their laws were not transparent enough, were obstructive, and also were a monopoly. Basically, they were operating a monopoly which was not acceptable. I'll try and read a few excerpts for you on that, but just to give you an idea of how we have gotten here. So April 18, 2021, the Super League was announced. That is when 12 clubs, the notorious 12, said that they have joined the Super League and are hoping to rival the UEFA Champions League. Now, this died really quickly over fan protest and generally widespread condemnation. Now, within 72 hours, 9 clubs had withdrawn, including 6 from the Premier League. Now, the last killers left were Juventus, Barcelona, and Real Madrid.
The 3 stubborn cats.
Eventually, Juventus, based on their own home issues, succumbed and stayed in the background. And it was
they had
left
to withdraw because part of their plea deal and other things with their
financial
issues and all that kind was that they should leave the Super League. That was one of the conditions.
Good. So they left the Super League. Now it was left to Real Madrid and Barca. They took the issue up to a Spanish court. It was eventually transferred to a European court. The hearing was in Luxembourg, and the hearing has arrived. So basically, it does not say that
the Super League
is back or can go ahead, but it basically says that UEFA cannot and FIFA cannot sanction member clubs or associations for joining rival competitions. What this essentially does is really open the door, and it looks like just a few hours after that ruling, Real Madrid President Florentino Perez says that this is a huge victory for football. He says that football has won. Alexander Seferin says that football is not for sale. So very interesting sides of the divide, but they have started recruiting again. And we are hearing that the games, if it does materialize, will be for free. It will be viewed for free. We are also hearing speculation that unlike the first time when investment came in from US bank JP Morgan, Saudi Arabia is waiting with cash in hand to probably throw into the Super League. Let me take opinions on it. Let me start to you, Susu, on this one. I mean, you heard the ruling. What does this mean? Are you expecting a barrage of clubs to say, we are going to play this 64-man competition? Do you think that this will loosen UEFA and FIFA's grip on football the way they have it now?
I think it's 2 things. I think the Saudis being involved, and part of the reason they are recruiting on these players, they're not recruiting those players to play in the AFC Champions League for long term. I believe that this has always been their plan. That we are recruiting these players so we can compete with the best European teams.
In a Super League.
I believe that.
So you suspect that the Saudis might join the Super League?
Oh, definitely. Because I believe that that's what people want. The all-stars and all that kind of thing. But that being said,
to see Ronaldo again.
But that being said, I can understand why the clubs are behaving the way they're behaving. UEFA has a lot of unilateral power and does a lot of unilateral things the clubs don't like. Look at this new Champions League format we're about to go to. We've not even discussed that much. I mean, and for those who don't know, it's going to come from 32, it's going to become 36. It's going to be one big league table. And each team plays 8 matches, and you don't play any team twice. They have a way of deciding the 8 matches you play. You play 4 home, 4 away, 8 random matches. Then there's a league system. They are changing things up, and we've had this current format for about 20 years.
I'm also hearing that from when the verdict was announced, they have considered backtracking on their format.
The funny thing is that format was the original Super League format. There was no difference. The only difference was who was in charge, who's making the money. The truth is, this is all a money issue. As fans, they are just fighting for our eyeballs. There's no, and I don't like how people are acting like someone is trying to save football, someone is trying to...
There's always politics being woven into it.
It's all nonsense. Everyone is just trying to get a bigger pie. The Spanish teams, their main issue is that they can see the Premier League is running away from them. They can see that financially they can't compete.
In fact, the Spanish teams consider the Premier League a Super League.
Let's be honest, the Premier League is a Super League. Why is Julian Lopetegui, who can win the Europa League, usually that makes you one of the hottest managers in Europe. You should be joining a top-tier Champions League challenging team. He's going to save Wolves from relegation. No, seriously, we have Bournemouth and Wolves and other teams who are in the bottom half competing with storied clubs like AC Milan for players.
Yep.
Where we are, the Premier League is a Super League. This is facts. But that's because they've managed their brand well. We can't run away with this. No one has given them the right to be a Super League. They've got there because they've created a brand that everyone wants to see. They've created a product that sells all over the globe. And if you're the La Liga and you're seeing this, your league is not getting the numbers. You're not getting the revenue. And so Real Madrid feel like their place is under threat. They look at their 14 Champions Leagues and they feel like a Man City, a Liverpool and Manchester United in 30, 40 years might have 10 Champions Leagues and they'll still be on 14. This is what they're afraid of. They want to keep things the same. So if you're a radical and you are very okay with revolution, the ruling class should be toppled. You will support
the Super League.
No, you will support. You keep things as they are because the status quo is changing. If you like the old way, you like how football is, you support the Super League. But for me, the way I see it, I think it's just a way of the traditional European clubs. They are threatened by the Premier League and they want to claw some power back. But at the same time, I believe that eventually there will be a kind of compromise between the Super League and UEFA. Yeah. This happens so
like what happened between the PGA Tour and LIV.
Look, and American sports are notorious for this. There was the ABA in the 70s. Eventually came back to join the NBA. Look, that's how it always happens. The leagues will come. Everyone realize that, look, we can make more money together than apart. And they'll sort it out.
Yeah, let me give you a take
on
this.
I think in the short term, I think in the next 2-3 years, we won't hear much from the Super League because they are still trying to recruit. The German clubs, you naturally won't join. That's a problem.
They are owned by fans.
Yes. They naturally won't join.
The big English club, at least I know Man United openly said...
No, because there's a penalty for the big English
so they won't
after the first time if they join. I think it's like a £50 million penalty. So I think it will take some time because they also have to negotiate
a lot of
with that type of things. And that's why now this really is important. It means that they can still push the Super League project and still be competing the Champions League until they finalize it. So UEFA can't punish them. And that's the thing. European competition is a choice. You can decide that even if you've qualified, you don't want to play.
Yeah.
It is actually a choice. So they'll continue building their brand. So in 2-3 years, then we'll actually might see the fruition. But I believe the truth is we'll probably head for a compromise. Everyone is just angry to start. They are talking. They'll head for a compromise.
Interesting days ahead, y'all. You have always been a backer of the Super League.
Yes, I have. And that was because of the format and the way they started it. That initially they said there wouldn't be relegation. It will be.
But now they say there will be relegation.
Yes, now they've changed their stance. And
they said there will be 3 tiers.
Yes.
Gold, I think gold, silver, and blue.
Is this not reminiscent of? You remember? I'm coming.
You finish. Let me have.
You remember the old when Pro Evolution as a video game started?
Master League.
Does it not look and feel like the Master League? You are not talking about it.
No, it really is.
Yes, like ISS Pro 2, where you are in the lower division, then you qualify to the and then there are 16 teams or 18 teams in that league. You play, of course, the difference are home and away. But once they started, my mind went back, and I said, this is like the Master League from the start of the millennium, you know.
And the point is, at the start of this league, the push for this league, it had a bit of an NFL, NBA kind of touch to it, it was quite obvious because the teams that initially participated or registered their participation or interest in the Super League, they had some connections or ties to America. You look at,
and that's why there were American investment banks ready to come.
Exactly, the likes of Dazen, the likes of Morgan Chase. Morgan Chase. But now, like Shisu said, there's a compromise. There looks to be a compromise heading our way because if there isn't any compromise, this issue will come up again because this isn't the first time that...
Imagine Real Madrid and Barca saying they are breaking out of UEFA. They won't play the Champions League again.
The truth is both
become useless.
No, this because both sides can't afford to not have each other.
Yep.
Both sides need each other.
The Champions League without Real Madrid and Barca will be very interesting.
I think one need the other more than the other needs the other one. Who is Real Madrid and Barcelona to the whole of UEFA? Yeah. They can step out if they want.
Yeah.
Me, I don't support this
Super League.
What is that?
No, it's all about maximizing profits, and the clubs feel like we are the ones who are bringing the party to you,
and you are taking all the money.
You are taking all the money, And so you should give us a bigger share of that pie instead of giving us some substantial amount, though it's still substantial. But at the end of the day, if we do the percentages,
we'll get way more.
Exactly. It's all about maximizing profit. Do you think Florentino Perez spent $500 million renovating the Bernabeu just to consistently be playing with Anatosis from Augusta?
That is where he finds himself. That is where they are.
He wants to be playing consistently against Juventus, against Barcelona, against Atletico Madrid, against Man United on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis. Yeah. He doesn't want to be playing a Champions League tie, a group stage against
PAOK.
If they play PAOK, we still watch. It's never stopped us so much.
But the ratings are down.
But you'll be more attracted to watching Real Madrid United.
I think part of it is the novelty, in my opinion. But
there's that.
Look, for somebody like me, I'll get tired of watching.
Ozil said this. He says the beauty of football or big games is having them come around every now and then and not every time.
That is it.
There's that.
Yeah.
If you remember Barcelona, what is that?
But there are people are saying that pockets are involved.
Look,
of course.
It is all about the money.
I'll come back to money. Round it up and let me go to Chris.
It's all about the money. And the thing is, there's always a pushback when there's change or they are
when the Champions League started doing group stage and things, it used to be straight knockout. Yes. That was before I was born, of course.
Yes, it was the same Champions League.
There was resistance.
It was the same competition, not another competition.
But the comparison here doesn't hold. You know the one that's very funny for me. The Premier League itself is a breakaway.
It's a breakaway.
They broke away from the FA.
From
They decided to gather their own.
They decided to what is the word?
From the championship.
Yes.
And make their own division.
It was the old first division.
And they did it with Sky.
It was just change of name.
No, but you
not
see,
it was change of name and change of levels.
No,
that is what it was.
There was a pre-existing competition.
Change of ownership and governorship.
The clubs kind of took control away from the FA and they went into partnership with Sky.
It became a private league.
Their money.
But it is still the Premier League.
No, but the context is that breakaways do happen in the sport.
No, but
new competitions
continentally
emerge.
If within the same country.
No, but coach, you see, are you trying to say that in 100 years to 200 years there should not emerge a rival to the? I think there must emerge a rival. I think
like how?
I feel like, and that's
like I think there should be room for competition.
And part of it also, I believe UEFA has stagnated a bit. I feel like UEFA has
people may think like this if you are not looking at the bigger picture. Look, I remember when I went for my coaching courses, they were told that within a season, the player is not supposed to play more than, I've forgotten.
A certain number of games.
A certain number of games. I've forgotten. I think it's around 60. Averagely, the player is supposed to play between 52 to 72 games. That is if you are playing in your league for the calendar year. For the calendar year. Yeah. Now, when you bring in this other competition, how are the players going to cope? How are they going to cope? Playing in their domestic league, playing in the Champions League, playing in the Super League. What is that?
But coach,
I'm coming.
But that's what I'm telling you.
I'm coming.
Go ahead. If we are complaining about games, extra games, why has UEFA made a new Champions League format with extra games?
No, but
why do you have a Club World Cup? A Club World Cup with extra games. No, I agree with you, but
all those games,
even
is within the limit.
No, but even if it is 5 extra games, those are 5 more games. In the end, I feel like
extra games cannot be equated to over another 28 or 30 extra games.
But then again, you're also forgetting that there's a possibility that the teams that opt to play in the Super League might opt out of the Champions League.
You see,
there's that.
Now listen, if you decide to opt out of the Champions League because you want to be in the Super League, then you are basically going to opt out of your domestic league because the Champions League, those who qualify for the Champions League, they come from the domestic league. So if you are not going to play in the Champions League through your domestic league, then we are going to play.
Of course, you don't have to opt out of the domestic league to play.
I mean, that's what domestic league. It's your domestic league.
It's your domestic league.
For instance,
and the Champions League format says that the first 4 goes to the Champions League.
Let me just explain that. The Super League format that has been placed as we speak now, the one we have seen, it says that teams can qualify for the Super League via their domestic league.
And I'm saying
I think
how can those teams qualify for play in the Champions League and play in the Super League?
That's what I'm telling you. That if Real Madrid, if the Super League does come to fruition, Real Madrid will tell you that look, we won't play the Champions League again. Take your Champions
So
League.
I think that you also apply for a license from UEFA to play European competition after qualification. So I think it's a matter of just not applying for the license. But if you're not,
I think the confusion will come. For example, Chris was making a point. Now you have your first four qualify for, say, the Champions League. Now one team says that, okay, I don't want to play the Champions League anymore. I'm going to play in the Super League. So what does it? So now it means that now even recalibrating the qualification.
But you see,
I'm hearing that.
You see, this is not even a problem because this is part of the new UEFA Champions League format.
I'm coming.
Where at the end the coefficients will be calculated and an extra place will be added to this.
I'm hearing that.
So it's
the domestic league is also going to have a say in who go and play in the Super League and the Champions League. Internally, for example, the EP, I was listening to Simon Stone this afternoon on BBC. He was saying some very interesting things. He's saying that the Premier League is also fashioning out some rules that will make sure that no team from the Premier League go to the Champions League.
That one is
Super League.
That one,
so how is it going to work?
But
how is the Super League going to work?
They might play without any Premier League team.
That's what I'm saying. That
coach, it won't work without Premier League teams.
Can you imagine the Super League without the Premier League
team? So far, Liverpool have not declared their stance.
No, but Jurgen Klopp spoke this afternoon. They've also distanced themselves from it.
But coach has a point.
A UEFA is shake.
But coach has a point. Without the Premier League teams and without any German,
it doesn't have as much power.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
Rather, Florentino Perez and the man at Barcelona, what is the name? Juan Laporta. They should sit there and market this. You see, they are so greedy that they don't care about the lesser teams. How do they share their TV right money?
No, but see, that's not their problem.
No, I'm coming. The EPL is what it is today.
Yeah, for that I'll give it to you.
It is what it is today.
Because there's equal
because of the equal
and like
meritocracy.
And like the experts say,
you chop all the money.
Your league is as strong as your weakest.
Exactly.
The base payment in England is equal.
Yeah. It's equal.
Then based on your position,
then you chop.
Then based on how much,
how many matches you play on TV.
Exactly.
Naturally, the big teams benefit more.
Yeah, but the lesser team get an equal chunk of the money.
And the truth is,
you don't do that in Spain. When your league is sinking and you want a way of making money.
I'm kind of disappointed a little in one. Spanish teams,
yes,
Italian teams,
even the German teams.
Because look, the Bundesliga, they're literally reeling under lack of finance. Like they are, they look like they will be collapsing in the next 5 years.
The Bundesliga, I think the Bundesliga is the most financially sustainable. They don't spend money because they've agreed that it's a fan-owned project. The fans are in charge, and they will be sustainable. I don't think Bundesliga clubs are going to struggle financially.
Bundesliga clubs, the Bundesliga have actually floated ideas of selling streaming rights of the Bundesliga and things, and the fans have been up in
it's because
the league doesn't have enough money, and they realize that they can't compete with Liverpool and the Premier at this rate.
That's why.
So they should join the
Super League. No, not necessarily joining the Super League. They just copy. Copy what they are doing in England. If
you look at Bayern or Dortmund, where and this is the thing, a lot of football fans in Europe are not for the Super League. This is important. So if you go to Germany and try and sell the Super League as a club, you as the board, they'll vote you out. Because at the end of the day, German clubs are like small countries, if you put it that way. You are running the thing for the fans. The fans can be seen as the citizens. So their power is what runs the club.
True.
If you like, one of the exceptions, obviously, Red Bull, RB Leipzig, because it's run by Red Bull. But that's a very...
And to understand Volkswagen.
But those are small exceptions. You see, I don't think... So the Super League won't work in Germany. Italian and Spanish clubs, because it's one man.
As for the Serie A teams, I'm surprised they've not jumped on this.
Only Napoli has said
I think they are being quiet. I think they are being quiet because they want to see whether they can the Super League.
Whether it will actually grow proper legs again.
Like they said,
they need the English teams
to participate.
For it to be whatever they are thinking it will be.
That original Super League, if they had been able to get their teams, and if they had said it was open.
Yeah.
If they had done the original Super League the way they done it and said, okay, these teams will be permanent members. We still have these 3 divisions, but you can still enter by merit. I think they could have got people. I think because for the most part, Champions League places in most countries, if there's 4 places, there's 3 teams who go about 8 or 9 times in 10 years. That kind of thing. And then there's a few teams that want to come inside like that. So it already is a fairly close club. But I think by completely closing it,
they should just sit down with the offer. But the Super League had pretty much a test run recently. Where? The Africa
and for how many
the Africa bit. No, they had it more or less like a test run. I think unfortunately they are using Africa again as a lab rat. Because they tested the waters with this Super League thing. And when you look at the commentary, the narrative about that Africa Super League, when you look at the numbers, when you look at the following, for a first-time competition, a novelty competition, I think it was well run.
I didn't watch one game,
I think it was well run. And you look at the teams that played in that tournament.
He's not going to watch.
And you look at the teams that played in that tournament. They don't have the glamour of a Barcelona, of a Real Madrid.
But in terms of African football, they are glamorous.
They are glamorous. And I'm saying that for African, in the African terrain, it worked well. So multiply it like this times 4, times 5, because there's Barca in it, there's Real Madrid in it. And you can tell why these guys are still pushing.
You'll be playing, Barcelona will be playing against masons and carpenters from Saudi. They will call it Super League.
Al Nassr, they will be playing against
Mason carpenters.
Maxima and Firmino.
The top scorer in Champions League history, Cristiano Ronaldo.
At the age of 41.
He's still the top scorer.
Interesting days ahead. What we know so far is that, like we said, A22, they are the company in charge of running the Super League for Real Madrid and Barcelona. So far, they are the 2, pillars still holding the fort.
They say against them.
Napoli is toying with the idea of joining.
No, they have said they will join.
Yeah.
Inter has distanced themselves.
Aurelio De Laurentiis says
that
he'll probably join. Florentino Perez and Aurelio De Laurentiis are probably friends, so I'm sure.
Kalabuli more connections.
And Juan Laporta and Florentino Perez have always had a really good relationship. So I'm not surprised they are all in the booth together.
All kinds of
Kululu, Azan, Kumenanashka.
Those 3 guys.
Florentino Perez said he will bring Luis Figo from Barcelona to Real Madrid.
You don't believe that Florentino?
No, he did it, though. He did it.
That is what the team should be. That is what it should be. Not to go and go and take a player. Do your things well. No. When they were dishing out the cash to buy the Galacticos, were the English teams buying those type of players at the time? They've slept on the job.
The power balance has shifted.
They've slept on the job.
This is what I don't like about other Syria.
They've slept on the job.
When Syria was going to a Champions League final,
time the best league in the world.
Nearly every year in the 90s, if you look.
Yeah, and the Italian team played in the final.
You go to the UEFA Cup, same thing.
Yep.
Italian teams had all the money. They bought all their players. It was like that was the Super League then. They didn't build on it. Because all the club owners, they were running one man ship. They were just throwing money at it. They weren't thinking about let's build our league up.
They were not taking money cards like Valentino Cechigori.
Look at that.
Fiorentina.
And some of them. The Lazio guy
Parmalat people who blew all their money.
No, seriously. The Lazio guy ended up in jail. And he reached a point he was owning football clubs and he told you I won't pay. But if we swap this player, we can remove. That's what was happening towards the end.
What's the name of Sergio something? I forgot it.
Look at that.
Like, Berlusconi, I'm a
Berlusconi was a respected politician in Italy.
Silvio.
2-time prime minister.
You know what's funny? I think Berlusconi actually warned that we would come to the brink of a time where there would be a breakaway of some sort. He spoke about it like 10 years ago.
Look,
so it's interesting. It's interesting that we are here.
Backfired.
Florentino Perez, you'll be hearing from him soon.
Don't mind him. He should help. He should help Alaves, Valladolid. You should have them come up. You go and you take all the money. You want them to.
Balak from Dansoma says, I can't see. He says, I can't see how the Super League will actually come into existence, especially when it needs English clubs to have it to really thrive. And here we are with the English clubs seemingly not joining. It simply won't hold water. Kofi from Kaswa says the EPL itself was a breakaway league, and now the UK is scared of a European Super League, so brought a law to prevent clubs from the UK joining it. They are very selfish. Kid Black from Spintech says Tottenham saying they won't be part of the Super League is like saying you don't want the pizza no one was going to offer you anyway.
But why are Spurs catching straight bullets? Look, the Barcelona, they would love to have Spurs says they will join.
I'm telling you.
What are you talking about?
No,
as we speak
right now. Right now they can't pick and choose.
They love to have Spurs
right now they need numbers, so they can't pick and choose.
Are you serious?
They need 64.
The United,
they need an extra 64.
The Liverpools, the Man City, the Arsenal, they will join.
But Tottenham, if they don't join, what's the big deal?
So
Tottenham,
respect.
The reason they will need PL teams to join. The PL teams are the teams with the money in Europe. They need them to be bringing the top players.
And really, they have a better marketing machinery than literally everybody else out there. Nanama says a testimony 9 months from today will be Sports Panorama babies. Hold on. I had to slow down for a second. He said we've been on the road for the whole year with no break. We've had a very crazy schedule, which made spending time impossible. All we'll be doing this festive season is stay home, sleep, movies, and music, and do the little things that are fulfilling and more importantly, loud making. I had to ring the bell for you twice. Hold on. It says we are producing Panorama hybrids made of you guys. Happy festive season, guys.
We beg you. There's only 2 married men here. We beg you. We beg.
Okuta.
Hybrid. Coach, the guy has become. I can't hear. I don't understand.
He's come to Ghana. That's why he's come to Ghana.
Kojo Foster. Odoko says, hi, Ben. Greetings to all Liverpool fans. We'll beat Arsenal tomorrow by 2-1. We'll get into that today, but we'll get you more messages. But let's get into...
Yeah, just a few updates. Yeah. So update number 1, the Accra Derby in Kumasi ended goalless.
Man,
look, very. I was listening to the commentary. There was no
quality. And then the other update, Manchester City have won their first Club World Cup.
Oh, against Fluminense.
Do you know the way the commentator was describing goalkeeper Richard Atta? Goalkeeper Richard Obolo.
Charlie, you should save. You need to care about Atta's mental health. You know.
So Manchester City they've beaten
score in that game.
Fluminense 4-0 actually.
Oh, Charlie.
Alvarez scored 2, Nino scored an own goal, and Phil Foden.
Marcelo was in there, wasn't he?
The other, Marcelo. And then the third and fourth.
Numo Marcelo. He was captain of the team.
The third and fourth place game, our African brothers have made us all proud. They beat Wara Reds by 4-2. So Percy Tau was on the score sheet. So El Ali finished third.
Interesting. So Club World Cup, good updates coming through from there. Let's talk about that Liverpool game. Let's take a quick break, quick turnaround just before we finish, and then we'll talk about the Premier League before we leave.
Ghana, are you ready? Game Park Limited, the newest lottery company in Ghana, introduces another exciting game called Pick 1 from Friday 15th of September 2023. Choose your favorite number from 1 to 36. Stake and get ready for the excitement as we unveil the lucky number. Prepare yourself to unleash even more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis and win 26 times your stake on the amazing Pick 1 game. Play by dialing *946# on all networks via our website or download the Game Park app on www.gameparkgames.com. Watch our live draws on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Game Park, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18 years. Play responsibly.
The city is alive on 97.3.
Welcome back. Benjamin Nketia here, Sports Panorama. Show proudly brought to us by Game Park Limited. What does wealth mean to you? Charlie, this December, if you don't live like Tycoon, you really go tire for Accra. So jump on Game Park Limited's offers, make some moolah, be the guy with the power. Yeah, Charlie, we call it Bomber. For bomb everywhere. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app. Play Store. You can also play on our website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946#. On all networks, just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. Easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some cash. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Yeah, Bell Puka holding down the boys in the studio as usual. Let's talk about Liverpool versus Arsenal.
I just need to,
What's going on, Nathan?
I've just seen a clip from the Hearts of Oak game.
Yeah.
In the 43rd minute, a Hearts of Oak player missed this bend. You see that goal Gabriel Jesus scored last weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Similar cross comes in, clears everybody, and the guy heads wide. And the Hearts of Oak head coach is so stunned by the time he couldn't believe what
Abdul Bashir.
No, Hearts of Oak have a reel of incredulous misses this season. If you see, they can do a whole 5-minute compilation of like point blank misses.
You heard what Mohamed Polo said?
Oh, Polo.
Polo to Polo.
Polo say
You heard what he said?
Polo say what again?
You heard what he said? The man said, "This is a white man. Why would a white man come and lie? He's not a small boy." He said he's not a small boy, as in he's referring to the former Martin Koopman. He said that is what they do.
So Polo is saying that the triplets are at it again.
Oh yes, he said. He didn't mention anybody. He didn't mention any Trinity. He didn't mention any triplets. He said
the treacherous triplets are at it.
They are at it again.
He said they did the same thing to him, that they will connive with some players and get the coach sacked. And the same was done to him. Martin Koopman said a similar thing, and that is what they do. He said that is what they do. That is what Mohamed Polo said.
They'll down tools and get you fired.
But they buy the players, so they can control what the players will be doing.
Let's get to the Premier League and let's get to that Liverpool versus Arsenal game. Coach, let me start off with you.
Yeah, Charlie.
Big game, big game.
Look, top of the table clash.
Yep.
Aston Villa are playing at Burnley. It's still goalless. If they win, they go top. Sheffield. Yeah. If they win, they go top. So tomorrow, 5:30, Liverpool, Arsenal, something will have to give. And psychologically, Jurgen Klopp has started, or he's pumped the Liverpool supporters already. He's told them he didn't like the atmosphere on Sunday.
Yep.
And then in midweek, he repeated himself again that he's just not liking the atmosphere.
You need to make the place unbearable for your fans.
And if you are not in the right shape, give your tickets to somebody else.
That is damning.
That'll be serious.
Look, that is because you see,
if you have lost your voice, give your ticket to
somebody and go and sit in the house. We want those who can come and make the place what it should be. Look, and if you know Anfield and you understand Anfield, when Jurgen Klopp starts talking like that, there's one person who is that statement alone is going to give sleepless nights to. That is Mikel Arteta. This is the proper test for Arsenal to show everybody that yes, indeed, they are ready to win the league. I think if Arsenal were to survive, I'm using the word survive because they've not won at Anfield for close to 11 seasons now.
Liverpool have some incredible numbers.
11 seasons now. And when Jurgen Klopp is calling upon the troops, the people to raise the roof beyond imagination, then you can imagine what Anfield will be like.
I think it's a reaction to last Sunday.
Exactly. I think Arsenal are going to Anfield at the wrong time. It's football. Anything at all can happen.
Let me drop you
Mikel Arteta, yes, go ahead.
So Liverpool are unbeaten in 10 home Premier League games against Arsenal. Winning 7 and drawing 3. Now the Gunners have kept a clean sheet. They haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their previous 15 tough light meetings, conceding 43 goals during that run.
That's it.
Now this will
about 3 a game.
Yep. Now this will be Liverpool's 100th home league encounter with Arsenal. So those are the head-to-head.
So
runs.
clearly means that whenever Arsenal take on Liverpool, they give goals away.
Yep.
They give goals away.
At least from that run.
At least 2 goals.
They call it.
So you see, something will have to give on tomorrow. If you look at this Arsenal team, they are not a team tactically used to playing games to take the steam out of games. They don't have players like that. If you look at their key players, Declan Rice, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, when the thing is a bit chaotic, they tend to love that. They tend to play to the intensity, play to the tempo. I'm having a very dodgy feeling that tomorrow, I think Harvest will have to give way to either a Jorginho or somebody closer to Declan Rice.
Oh.
Arteta will have to be very smart on this. He cannot go with a triangle where the apex is the base and the base becomes the apex, where you have only Declan Rice sitting. Naturally, the young man doesn't prefer to sit. He likes to drive the ball forward all by himself. This is one of the games where he would have loved to have the Ghanaian closer to the young man. So you pick the ball, I pick the ball, give it to you, drive the guys forward. Because what you don't also want tactically is to have Odegaard dropping into the half of Arsenal to come and pick the ball. Because he will be required to do so. If it's only Declan Rice who's going to play in the middle of the park as the natural ball winner. So Odegaard will be required to drop deep and leave Havertz all there by himself. So there has to be some tactical tweaks to whatever Arsenal will do come tomorrow. I think that if they can find a beautiful way of subduing the Liverpool noisemakers.
Who are those?
The fans.
The fans.
That would mean scoring an early goal.
Exactly. They will have a chance. I've seen Arsenal go to Anfield, take a 2-goal lead and let the game go away. As for Jurgen Klopp, he's already made his intentions very, very clear.
Well,
Alisson, Alexander Arnold, Van Dijk, and Co.
And his boys are rested.
And the boys have rested. They didn't play.
Talking about Trent, I just want to ask this, Chris. Do you think tomorrow will be a day where Klopp allows Trent to have an adventure, i.e. go from right back to midfield?
I think he shouldn't do that. If he's going, he should decide where he plays him.
No.
He should decide where he plays him because he cannot allow the man to move from that right back position into midfield against Martinelli and increase the gap between Konate and Van Dijk. Arsenal will roast them. So if he's not convinced with the Japanese,
Endo
play Arnold in midfield and play it at Gomez right back.
Let me a few more numbers before we go.
If you're Arteta, I think Arteta is in the situation of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you decide to bring in a guy like Jorginho into the mix and play him with Odegaard and Declan Rice, that Liverpool midfield, they will run over him easily.
I don't think so.
They would.
Rather,
because Declan Rice is the only physical presence in that midfield.
Odegaard, Jorginho may not be physically good, but he's better physically than Kai Havertz.
Fair.
I'm not saying Jorginho comes in for Odegaard. Okay. I think he comes in for Kai Havertz.
So rather, you are saying a midfield of Rice, Jorginho, and Odegaard.
Where Odegaard
stays high
up the pitch.
Like
quick thoughts. Let me give you and Susu and your quick thoughts on the game. How do you think it's going?
Oh, I think they'll beat Liverpool very easily, actually.
At Anfield.
Yeah.
Arsenal win.
Yeah. And the reason I'm saying that is that I look at Liverpool now. They are misfiring. You spoke about this. Even though the goals came against West Ham,
it's either a comeback win, either a dramatic late winner.
The attackers are not really there.
Yeah.
Gakpo scored. Good for him. That's what his third goal in like 10 games or something. Nunes is like 1 in 11, 1 in 12. Salah is the only one performing.
But Arsenal themselves don't have natural goal scorers in that team.
Yeah, but
But at
they
least
spread
they
the
are
goals
spreading
around.
the
No,
goals
but how
around.
many goals?
Kai has scored a few.
Gabriel Jesus, 2 goals, 3 goals in so many games.
But you see, I think
Nketiah.
I see.
Even look, one player that the Arsenal people are not talking about is Saka. His form has dipped.
He struggled.
He struggled this
He
season.
hasn't played so well.
And for me, I just believe Liverpool are not, and they are not as solid. They are not particularly solid defensively for me.
They are not.
It's a big game.
They are not. They concede a goal literally every game.
They tend to show up in the big games.
You see,
At
a
Anfield.
lot of the games they've played this season, a lot of good results they've had, they've conceded, and not only that, they've conceded first. Whereas you're looking at an Arsenal team that is a lot more defensively solid than last year.
But the question, as I sit here, the question that's been in my mind and in my thoughts since I saw this fixture, what does Mikel Arteta do? How does he? What does he tell his players? Let's go after Liverpool from the beginning.
Arsenal don't know how to defend. They cannot sit back in it.
But you see, for example, because I don't see Arsenal playing the way United played last week.
No, they don't want to come and play.
That's what I'm telling you.
That is where
Arsenal cannot sit
Liverpool,
back and
I
defend.
believe, will punish. And that idea of getting Zinchenko to come into the middle, Mohamed Salah too is there. He can't
And
do
Mohamed
that.
Salah has, I think, 9 goals in 13 games
If
against
we are
Arsenal.
talking about Salah, Salah is the only Liverpool player I expect to perform. But the thing is, he might create a chance for Darwin Núñez. Which Darwin Núñez is going to show up?
Good question.
Some people believe that
all of
Cody
the-
Gakpo should start.
Even Cody Gakpo, his form has been.
Cody Gakpo there. I know. Cody Gakpo in the West of coach. Inalo Jugba.
And that's the issue. That's the Liverpool issue for me right now, because I don't see anyone apart from Salah performing. And for that,
There's a message that says Jorginho is in there. If he's injured,
yeah. And then if we are talking about
Arsenal
Darwin
have to make a
Núñez,
decision.
because I don't know which Darwin Núñez is going to show up, and the Darwin Núñez who's not good shows up more often than the Darwin Núñez who is good, I'm going to assume the bad one will show up this weekend.
Fair.
So for me, I just don't see Liverpool having the. And even look at their game against City. They really were not able to really get into the game. They got the result in the end, the 1-1 by Trent coming through in the last few minutes and getting a goal.
That was an away game. You see, Liverpool at Anfield, over the years,
Different
in the
animal.
big games, they will no matter how bad they've been, they'll show up and then they'll get the job
They're
done.
not okay. The name not
Well,
say.
let me-
The name me clarify. You're right. That's a good point. So I don't think they'll win.
They've
easily.
actually lost 1 of their previous 50 top flight games at Anfield
The names-
while they were unbeaten in their last 20. There's another crazy stat I saw.
At Anfield,
So let me just say.
They've only lost actually 3 of their
No, they don't
41.
lose a lot at Anfield.
341 Premier League top flight against top 6 teams since
Yes.
Klopp joined the team.
Yeah.
So only 3.
No, you're right. Let me take it back. Arsenal won't win easily, but they'll win. I just, it won't be easy, but they'll win.
Like I said, I just would love to see that battle on the flank between Martinelli and Trent, and I'd love to see what Klopp does with Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I don't want to see it.
No, but I'm serious, because
I don't want to
you
see-
see, last weekend when things weren't working well for Liverpool, Klopp made a change. He brought Trent Alexander-Arnold
Midfield
into
and
midfield,
midfield.
tried to get them ticking. What I'm asking is, what will he attempt it again?
He wouldn't,
Will
because
he-
that was against a Man United midfield that had Kobe, Menu
So, of
and
course,
Amrabat in
okay.
there, who is a bit short on confidence.
No, attempt in bringing him into midfield. I think he should rather start him there and start with Joe Gomez, but get him
So
to
Trent
start
in
as a right
midfield,
back and
then he
be
inverts.
moving.
Yeah.
No, that would be problematic.
So that's our big game for the weekend. That's our show. Let's do some quick shout outs before we go. Quick shout outs. It'll be Christmas time, bro.
You are the newest person.
Let me do a birthday shout out to Adam Kai of the Sports Desk.
Yeah.
Extend. Adam Kai of the Sports Desk, producer extraordinaire,
It's a hard
soon
guy.
to be panelist on the PO in this Christmas period. So
Yeah.
look out for that one.
Debut is coming.
Yeah, the debut is coming. So big ups to the man himself.
And shout out
Happy
to
birthday.
Susu been out for a while.
In and out. The people say, Charlie, what's up? The
Oh,
people say, what's up?
Christmas, like I said, it's a time for family. Christmas is a time for family. So I'm here with my sports Panorama family.
This guy.
no, but you Panoramians, I'm begging you. I'm learning. I'm studying. So you give me space. I'll come back. But you
I'm
relax.
trying to get inundated.
Cool down for me.
I've been accosted. Someone accosted me at the palace. He said, I'm not coming. I said, oh, I'm in school. He said, school, and so what?
Imagine. Thank you.
I have a major shout out.
Okay. Like me, I'm going.
On Wednesday, this past Wednesday, it was not only the birthday, but it was the wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Hammond. It was Mrs. Hammond. It was Mrs. Hammond's birthday. And it happens to be their wedding anniversary. Look, Charlie, if you know Mrs. Hammond, Mr. Hammond said I should tell her, Bopeji elile.
The lile of life.
Bosu kenke wake Bopeji elile.
Back people. See, let me.
Lile ni ngofe lile feje. Waka happy belated birthday, madam. For your wedding and for your marriage anniversary. Look, truth be told, you know the treat you were given by Bosu. I'm told to tell you, this season is all about you. Mrs. Joanna Hammond. We say, God bless you and your husband. The rabbit man. He will know the way he does his things. I can put my neck on the chopping board that you will be guaranteed proper services.
Thank you.
Mrs. Hammond, enjoy not only your wedding,
harmonious services
against proper services, home services, all the services in the world.
Thank you.
Mr. Hammond says you are the only lile.
Nathan?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my cousin Jade Nati. Jade. Tomorrow is Jade's birthday.
Hey.
So Jade, happy birthday to you.
No more Jade, me team is supporter.
I need to ask.
No more can't support him, man. You
but this your United destiny is really what
he's not buying.
Every day.
So shout out.
Happy birthday in advance. No, hold on.
Let me tell you something. When Sheikh Shazim didn't come, say he's gone.
Let me tell you. I think meet people for town say. So Ben, is it really true that coach has left tonight?
No, but you have been seeing me. Don't you see nothing
but people are worrying me because of you. Look, so please go back to your team. I beg you.
There was some. I can't remember which Man U game. One of the games that they were really misbehaving. I was thinking, hey, so if coach was still here, like his whole day as well.
Well, situation though is on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, it's on Sunday.
Yeah, Charlie.
It's on Sunday.
Yeah, Charlie.
So if by this time.
Sold out.
We are sold out.
Yeah, sold out.
Don't call me.
Nathan, can you try and get me a ticket?
I'm not getting you anything.
You had like 3 weeks or a month.
You didn't buy. And now you are worrying. We are sold out. So if you have everything, get your white ready because Sunday will do more me.
White jalabia, white. Oh, Charlie. We don't like this.
A chair live band will be anybody. Look, when you listen to them, I'm a fan of proper live band.
Yes.
No,
then you will have your nights fulfilled.
You get everything. You get hip hop with money. And hip life with Ochame Kwame.
Thank you. Tell him.
You
get gospel with Perez music.
Oh, Charlie.
And on top of that, you get top level hip life Azonto mix.
Nana.
With Keche.
And then there are drinkables and chewables. You know. Or record.
That's
it from us here. The Premier League preview show will come up, but we'll leave you with this. A Merry Christmas to you, and we'll see you at Situation.
Just cute team. No, yeah. They call me.